What's up, people? So today I kind of wanted to do this as a follow-up to whenever I released the video about like finding my style and whatnot, because I'm still kind of just spending some time with this camera. So this is kind of like a first impressions, and I'll kind of do a follow-up video just talking about like more on just my experience with this camera and whatnot, how it works for me, my workflow, like always. So look at it, it's beautiful. It's the Fuji X100V, baby. And yeah, like this is a really cool camera, and it's a digital camera, and I shoot a lot of film. I got, you know, Big Bertha over here collecting a little too much dust. I gotta use her. Yeah. Oh my gosh, it's dusty over there. I gotta clean that up. But I wanted to pick this camera up, and I picked this camera specifically because I wanted to use it as a notebook camera, a nice journaling camera. That quick camera to pull out when I do not feel like loading up film, because one, there's probably black and white film in the camera, or two, just don't feel like shooting film because I don't want to go through the whole process of developing the photos and whatnot. Call me a fake film photographer, I don't care. I call myself a fake film photographer. Traitor! But you know, I don't mess with digital a lot at all because I don't like it. But Fuji does some things that really like just vibe with me. And again, this is just a small, beautiful camera. I linked that one video about my style and everything. I don't know if everything pops up, but I also did a video on the Ricoh GR3, which is pretty much like this camera's competitor. It's a nice, small, pocketable size camera, and I love the GR3. I had the GR2 and the 3, but ended up selling it. Again, just watched the video about finding my style, and again, there's so many different cameras and stuff that I've been through. And you know, some digital cameras too, but when it comes to digital cameras, I'm all about just small point and shoot cameras. I don't want nothing that changes lenses. I don't want any, I just want something that has a fixed lens, fixed focal length. I can just whip it out, turn it on, and shoot the photo. And honestly, that's what I can do with this, which is why I picked this camera up. Got some nice deals on it for a decent price, because I do think the camera's a little, not a little, it's pretty overpriced. But I got like a birthday discount and tax exempt, and like some other discounts on the camera and whatnot. So I got it for, you know, I think like $200 off. And then just picked up like the square hood because I was honestly watching some videos and I was like, bro, I don't have a Leica lens with the square hood, and I've always wanted a square hood. So I was like, if I can have just something with the square hood, that'll be really cool. But yeah, again, just this camera is awesome. One thing why I picked it over like the GR3, opposed to just going back to the GR3 or GR2, both of those are great, doesn't matter which one you get, but it's the FUJIFILM recipes. There's this website called Fuji X Weekly that does film recipes, where basically you can change some settings within the camera, within the different color profiles, and basically emulate a film stock without having to go through the process of taking your photo into Lightroom or whatever editor and apply that like preset on there. You can just do it straight into camera with a JPEG, and that's it. And to be completely honest, I am pleasantly surprised with the results. I think my favorite stocks so far are Portra 160. I haven't shot enough Kodak Gold 200 yet, which is why I don't really want to go into talking about this camera yet, but Portra 160 and Tri-X 400. And my God, I love it. Like, especially the black and white, because I think I'm more of a black and white shooter than a color shooter, but it's absolutely beautiful. And, you know, again, I don't always like having, you know, film camera. I don't always like shooting with the film camera, I should say, because I might just have a roll of film in there that I'm working through for a week or more at a time, and, you know, not just a day. And, you know, I might just be driving somewhere if I'm going out to pick up something to eat, or just driving because I'm bored at home. And there's like this insane sunset and just beautiful colors all around me. I just want to capture a photo in color. And again, my film camera, my M6 or something, might have a roll of black and white in it, and just being able to pick up a digital camera and just have the option to quickly switch between black and white or color, just quickly just capture that one moment and then just, you know, share that photo, do whatever with that photo. That's what I want to be able to do. So that's why I picked up this camera. And again, it's just a nice kind of just concept camera for me. So like there's a few projects I want to do with the Mamiya, you know, with color film and stuff, some like night photography stuff and whatnot. And it's cool to just be able to have a digital camera and just do like a test shoot to just see, scout locations, be able to kind of emulate a little bit of what like a film stock may look like, or just see like what's possible, what's around me. Just go quickly explore and kind of just have a fun little like quick adventure and not have to worry about the whole process of coming home and developing the film or sending the film off to get developed and then having to scan it and whatnot. But I won't ramble on too long. Again, there's going to be another video on this camera soon and just like my process and probably some more photos than kind of what I've showed you here. But man, this camera is absolutely amazing and it's going to be here in my life for quite some time, hopefully, as bad as like my gas gets sometimes. But yeah, this thing is absolutely amazing. I can't recommend it yet because I need more experience with it. There are like a few kind of just fiddly things I'm trying to figure out with the camera. And honestly, I try to shoot it like a film camera as well. So I'll like turn off the back screen here and just use the viewfinder. But I did kind of a street photography test with the camera, and there's an eye sensor here. So when you put your eye up to the sensor, it will kind of just activate, you know, your frame lines and stuff in the viewfinder, and just like turn on. Or if you're using like the digital viewfinder in here, I forget what it's called, OVF, EVF, I don't know the difference. But yeah, like sometimes the way I had the camera kind of just sitting around my chest, and when I'd pick it up and hold it, like I wasn't close enough, my face wasn't close enough to the center, so it wouldn't turn on, and I wasn't sure if I'd get the photo. And so I'm just fiddling with the settings, and I kind of found something after I finished shooting where I can just basically turn the eye sensor off so that pretty much the viewfinder is just on at all times. So I can quickly just pull up the camera and shoot the photo. But it is pretty cool to just be able to do some street photography and hold the camera at a waist level because it has the flip up screen, and just kind of stealthily take pictures and whatnot when you get a little scared to be shooting some strangers out there and whatnot. But yeah, this is a really fun, cool camera. Had to accessorize it a little bit with like the little hot shoe mount to make it feel like a film camera. I know at this point you're just like, why don't you just shoot film? But again, this is the reasons I said. So yeah, thank you guys for watching this video. I will catch you next time. Keep looking down at the screen. Peace.